So I've been looking at the Blue Brick to fix my hook, but I do not want to spend $150. As a husband and a father of 4 with 1 on the way, not only do I have no time, but I actually have no money either. So I have challenged myself to make an exact replica of the Blue Brick so I can use their training videos exactly as they're written with no adaptations by using a knockoff that you can find online. And the main thing is, I want it done today. Can I do it? Let's find out. So today is Saturday and I have about 6 hours to get this done before I have to go take over watching our 2-year-old so my wife can go Christmas shopping. So our goals is number 1, to complete this Blue Brick to perfect specifications. So every hole has to be in the right spot. Every angle needs to be exact so I can use it with their training videos. The second goal is to spend less than $40. I don't think I have to explain myself. That is less than 1/3 the price of the actual price. I think I can do it. And the last thing is I want some time to test this out. If I build this, I want to be able to use it before I have to take over watching our 2-year-old. First things first, I need to look at the design and pick the right material. So let's get Googling. Okay, so the first thing we need to figure out is what we're gonna make the Blue Brick base out of, so the actual brick part. And so I looked at the dimensions real quick, and it looks like it's 8.5 by 4.5 by 1.5 inches thick, which is like almost identical to a 2x6. A 2x6 is 5.5 inches wide and 1.5 inches thick, and so I can cut that down to dimension of 8.5. And so I'm thinking that's our best bet. I might actually have a 2x6 in my wood pile, so I'm gonna go double check that real quick. That will save me some money if I got some. Let's see here. Oh yep, 2x6 acquired. The other thing that with the Blue Brick is that it's extremely heavy, like 2.5 pounds heavy. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to add some weight to that. I'm thinking right off the bat, because I'm trying to get it done today, is like I know Home Depot has that flat bar steel, and that might add enough weight if I epoxy it. I just know those are kind of expensive and that might put me over budget. Right now I'm gonna probably say that's probably going to work. I just gotta see how much it is. So yeah, maybe. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half and I have all of the materials that I need to go pick up from Home Depot, but right now I'm trying to figure out all of the hole locations and angles. I've been using an app called Angular on my phone to find most of the angles for all of the holes that need to be drilled, but there's this one that is kind of weird, and it's kind of like a compound angle, and so I've been probably drilling a whole bunch of holes, but I really need to get to Home Depot and get the rest of those materials so I have some time if I make a mistake to fix it. I just drilled that last hole that you saw. I'm gonna go try it out real quick and see if it worked. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. So I think I got that figured out after, like I said, the 15th or 20th attempt. I don't really know. I'm gonna go Home Depot real quick, get the items that I need. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back from Home Depot, but before we start, if you don't want to DIY something or you're not a big DIYer, go ahead and pick up the Blue Brick linked in the description below. But if you are ready to have some fun and get your hands a little dirty and save a bunch of money, I'm gonna show you exactly what I am using right now. So you guys saw that I am gonna be using a 2x6 as the brick portion of the brick. I had this laying out in my wood pile outside, but if you do not have one, I looked at the cheapest option at Home Depot and it was about $5 for a 4-foot section, so not super expensive. The expensive portion for me was this flat bar. I thought I actually had flat bar around my shop, but I couldn't find enough of it, and so I actually went and bought this at Home Depot. This is 1/8 inch steel by 1 inch thick by 3 feet long. This is the most expensive thing that I had to buy for this project. It was $20, but I think it's something that is needed to weigh this down and for it not to tip. To attach that flat bar to the blue brick DIY, I'm gonna use some epoxy. This is JB Quickwell. It sets in 6 minutes, but it doesn't cure for about 4 to 6 hours. I'm hoping that this doesn't kick me in the butt at the end when I'm trying to use it and I need to go watch my kid. And the last thing I bought was some spray paint. The reason why I bought some spray paint is not only to make it look cool, but it actually is a protectant. So when it's outside and I'm using it at the grass ranges that I have around here, it doesn't get ruined, it doesn't get all dirty, and it has a little bit of protectant on it. I'm also gonna be using some tools. I'm gonna be using a speed square, a pencil of course. I'm also gonna be using a circular saw to cut it to length. I'm gonna be using a table saw to cut it to width, and I'm gonna be using this drill press to drill all the holes at the right angles. I might be using a hand drill too on some of them, but let's get to cutting this down to length. I'm gonna be using my speed square and my circular saw to do that. Again, that is 8.5 inches. Let's get it cut. So now I got the length correct. It's actually off just by a little bit shorter, but I don't think that really matters. I'm gonna be cutting it to width and I don't want these rounded edges on it, so I'm going to take 1/2 inch on this side and 1/2 inch on this side, and I'm gonna be doing that on my table saw. So let's go do it. And now we are dimensioned. Now that I have all of the dimensions cut, I'm gonna put on the screen right now all of the hole and angle locations for the alignment aids. This took me a little bit of time to do so, but I think I have it all figured out to the T. The middle one, the wedge impact, was the one that was giving me trouble. I believe I have it figured out. I'm gonna get drilling on my drill press. If you don't have a drill press, you might be able to do it with a hand drill, but with this drill press, I can move this plate around for that exact angles. So let's do that real quick. This is gonna drill that first hole, and I'm gonna drill it pretty deep. If it goes through the bottom, I don't really care because I'm putting something on the bottom in anyway. First hole drilled. So on this compound angle right here, I'm just making sure this is in line with my marks there. I don't know if you guys can see that. And the camera angle is not really catching it, but I think you guys can understand the shaft of this. I'm making sure it's in between this, and then I'm just going to drill the hole. Okay, so I drilled all the holes on the face, except for this one right here. I need to use my hand drill to do that. I need it at a much deeper angle than what this can drill it at. And then I kind of messed up on this one right here, but it's not that big of a deal. I tested it out. I don't have time to make it again, so I'm just gonna go with it. And then I have the ones on the end that my drill press isn't long enough, and I'm just gonna make this as straight as possible. I think I have all of the other ones done pretty awesome. And then I'm gonna sand it, and then I got to deal with the weight on the bottom. All right, crunch time is upon us now. I have about 2 hours left, and I don't know if I'll make it, but what I'm gonna try, I'm gonna cut this bar in 8.5 inch strips, and then I'm going to use the 2-part epoxy to put it on the brick, where I'm gonna put the longer pieces on the end, and then the shorter pieces in the middle. I'm gonna epoxy that up. Put this on top, and then I'm gonna go get a weight and put a weight on it. Okay, I gotta let this dry. I'm gonna give it like an hour. I only have an hour and a half left. And then I gotta spray paint it, maybe have 15 minutes. Maybe I can ask my wife to wait a little bit longer so I can try it out, but I gotta let this dry. All right, there it is, you guys, my green paver. I'm calling it a green paver mostly because green is my favorite color, and I can't steal everything from Clay Ballard. This thing worked flawlessly with the training videos that I looked up. I tried 3 different locations. I tried the wedge impact position, which was perfect. This is the one that I was worried about. I was hitting them low and penetrating after this, and I've been trying to hit them low for a very long time. I also tried one of these slots up here where I labeled the inside out drills. I actually used it for me to stop coming so far from the inside. If you look at the bottom, there's a position 1 and a position 2. You put it in position 2 and you change the drill a little bit, which works perfectly like I wanted it to. And the last drill that I tried was the square divots and angle of attack. I actually thought this was kind of a gimmick, but it worked awesome, and I was hitting them pure after pure after pure shot, and I just can't believe how well this works. With my limited amount of time, I wasn't able to try all of the drills that this can do. And so if you would like me to do a 30-day follow-up video where I show you all of the numbers and show you the real results that this can give you, go ahead and hit the like button down below and comment what drill you think I should be focusing on. Okay, so now the bad things about this. So you guys saw the one mistake that I did right here. It actually didn't do much. It still works perfectly fine. The other mistake that I did on this, because I want to be completely transparent, is for some reason when I used AI to give me dimensions, the first time it gave me 4.5, but then I looked it up later because this looked a little small. It's actually 5.5, so you don't actually have to cut this down. I think other than that, I think this thing is flawless. It doesn't tip, it has enough weight. I just wanted to let you guys know I did make a mistake. So this is not a DIY that you can do without a lot of tools. So if you do not have an angle grinder, a circular saw, or a drill press, this might not be one that you should be doing. Mostly because once you buy all that stuff, you could have bought maybe 2 of these. And so I'm lucky enough to have all these tools. If you don't have that, go ahead and use the link down below to buy you one, because I still recommend it. Now, when it comes to the challenge, I had some goals. I said perfect specifications. They're not technically perfect, but it works perfectly with the drill. So I'm gonna give that a big check. Did I finish under budget though? Technically, yes, I did, because I had some stuff lying around that would work, like the 2x6 and the alignment sticks. The alignment sticks come with the regular blue brick, and this kind of makes it useless if you do not have the alignment sticks. I already had them, so that saved me money there. But there's a caveat. If you are going to do this all yourself, it's gonna cost you more than $40. If you add on the 2x6 and the alignment sticks, it will bring you above the $40 mark. And so, yes, I stayed under budget, but would you stay under budget if you didn't have anything? No, but still, it's still around like $50. So I think that is still a steal. It's still only about 1/3 of the price of the actual blue brick. I'm gonna say it's still a win. The other thing is the time constraint. I did not finish by the time I needed to. I didn't account for how cold it is in my garage. The epoxy wasn't dry enough so I could paint it. And then finally, when it was dry enough, I went out and painted it, and it still wasn't dry. So my wife had to leave. So I did not make that goal of having it done before she left. But when she came back, it was done. It is still the same day, 7 o'clock in the evening. And I'm just wrapping up this video, but this is awesome. I totally would make it if you can. Go ahead and buy one if you can't. So this is my green paver. How well do you think I guys did? Give me a like if you think I did an awesome job. Let me know down in the comments if you decide to DIY this, and maybe when you're down there, go ahead and let me know what I should DIY next. Thank you for watching. Make golf your project, and I'll see you next video.